Hello, thank you for joining me today on this video. Today we will be taking a look at my desk setup that I use for my video editing and streaming purposes. The main purpose of this video is to see how well my computer setup handles editing and processing videos recorded in 4K. The majority of my videos, at least for now, will be recorded in 1080p. However, I am looking to test the limits of what this setup can handle. I purchased this particular MacBook as it's the last MacBook with a built-in disk drive, and it was well within my budget to be able to get started with my ideas for video production that I have. I was working with a limited budget, so I had to work within the realm of what little extra money I had available to me. The first thing that I had to tackle was the computer that I wanted to use for my video editing project. I first started by getting a 15-inch 2010 MacBook Pro. I upgraded this computer to the max RAM that it could handle, which was 8 gigabytes. I started using this to do some recording and editing, but quickly realized that it wasn't as powerful as I needed it to be. It turned out to be very sluggish. Next, I went up to a 15-inch mid-2012 MacBook Pro. I upgraded this to its max 16 gigabytes as well. It additionally had a 2.3 gigahertz i5 processor, a 1 terabyte SSD, and 1 gigabyte for both NVIDIA and Intel graphics card. The upgrade to this computer was decent. However, I knew I can get a bit more power if I went with a more spec'd out version of this particular 2012 MacBook. I knew I wanted to stay within the realm of the mid-2012 model, being that it was the last Mac Apple product that came with a built-in disk drive. And I didn't want to go to the non-Retina, or I wanted to stay within the non-Retina part of the MacBook series because of that factor. But I also knew that I can get more powerful than the one that I had purchased with a 2.3 gigahertz. So I looked around and waited for a few months on eBay and Amazon, but I stuck mostly with eBay just because I knew that's where the majority of MacBooks that I found were at. And then I finally came across the one that I was looking for, which is the one that I have now, which has a 2.7 gigahertz quad-core i7 processor with an NVIDIA 1 gigabyte graphics chip and a 1.5 gigabyte Intel HD graphics chip. On top of that, it is maxed out with the 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I put a 2 terabyte SSD in there as well to run. And on top of that, this comes with the anti-glare display, which runs at 1680 by 1050, whereas the standard display that came with this model of MacBook runs at 1440 by 900 for the 15-inch model, which makes the highest-end mid-2012 MacBook Pro prior to the non-Retina MacBook Pros top of the line. In 2012, when this computer initially launched, this computer with the upgraded display would have cost $2,549 with just the 8 gigabytes of RAM and a 750 gigabyte 5400 RPM mechanical hard drive. It would have cost an additional $200 in 2012 to upgrade to 16 gigabytes of RAM. According to various websites, I have read that the costs of SSDs in 2012 were set around 99 cents per gigabyte, which would have made a 2 terabyte solid-state drive I have now set at $1,980 in 2012, totaling this particular computer at $4,729 for the computer itself. And that is insane. And it was a great deal, being that I bought the computer on eBay in 2021 with 16 gigabytes of RAM for $405 on eBay. The 2 terabyte solid state drive I purchased separately for $180, which included shipping. Moving on, I decided to maximize what this computer was capable of, so my research showed that I can connect up to 2 Thunderbolt displays to this MacBook, which released in 2011. With 27 inches for the screen real estate, I decided it was a good option, so I ended up buying 2 Thunderbolt displays off of eBay and Facebook Marketplace for local pickup, with the pricing set at $150 each. This was also a good deal as these displays sold for $1,000 each brand new from Apple and were discontinued back in 2016. When I picked these up, I noted that there were some minor wear, scratches, and scuffs on the stands and the back of the displays. But the front of the displays themselves were in perfect working condition, and I love the way they came out. I just needed to do some cleaning, and then they were perfect and good to go. Additionally, I have the third generation Apple wireless keyboard and first generation Magic Mouse, which both of them were given to me for free. And then I also have the first generation wireless trackpad. The wireless trackpad I had purchased for $25 on eBay. When they were selling brand new at Apple, the trackpad itself was $69. The Magic Mouse itself was $69, and the keyboard ran at $99. What would have cost me $6,866 brand new in 2012 actually ended up costing me a total of $910 in 2021. For Apple products, that is a great deal.
Alright, so this portion of the video I'm recording after I made all of my edits to the primary video. What my results came out to be is if I worked with only a singular timeline in Final Cut Pro, everything ran smoothly and played back just fine with all the 4K footage that I shot and pulled up. However, if I started adding things like, I have a green screen behind me that I took into effect and added titles and whatnot with other little details that I added in. The more I added in, the slower the Final Cut was to respond, especially with adding the titles. The titles were the biggest thing. When I added each title to the timeline, I had to stop and let it render, because if I didn't, it would slow down a lot, like to the point where it was almost unusable. And I only put 4 titles in here, and it didn't take long for the titles to render. I did see that what took the longest to render was when I was adding each clip to the timeline. It would take quite some time depending on how long the clip was that I was adding. Could have taken anywhere from 5 minutes to sometimes up to 30 minutes to an hour to render certain clips in the video. So that part wasn't too bad in terms of the rendering. I could have continued working as the slowdown wasn't much, but the more I added, like the titles and multiple layers and whatnot, it started slowing down, and I even started losing frames during my editing process. So that's particularly why I want to mainly work with 1080p video from now until I upgrade the computer, which I'm fine with. I'm not a big hog when it comes to the quality type. I just want to start getting content out there with my recordings and videos and editing and all that. But like I said, my primary focus with this particular video is to see how far I can push it, and I can see that continuing in 4K is not feasible for this particular laptop, and I wanted to share that with everyone to kind of, put this out there and let you guys see what I'm working with as I'm restarting my rebranding with Damaged Productions and YouTube and everything, to see about going about this the way I would like for it to go. Anyway, continuing on with the tie-up here with the video.
That is all for my computer setup. If you'd like to see more videos like this, leave a comment. I'm always open to suggestions. I'm also open to see if you want to see me open this computer up, do some cleaning, and probably put some new thermal paste in it. I'm more than willing to do that, as well as I'm pretty sure this computer can use some new thermal paste on the i7 chip. Anyway, thanks for watching. Deuces, my juices.